Well, hello friends, Joseph here. Welcome back to some Hearthstone as we, get a nice Draconoid OP to start off Season 39. That is June 2017 in case you are watching this in the future. So, I think I'm going to be running this Dragon deck quite a bit, at least rank up. And maybe I should say at least rank up early on in the season. Queuing into this Shaman, we obviously know nothing about them right now, but that's going to be okay for us because we should have more than enough value to handle most Shaman decks at this point. So that's going to be a very, very good thing for us. But I think I will use this deck quite a bit. I think last season it was the deck that I had the highest win percentage with. Obviously it was also the deck that I played the most with, so maybe larger sample size do tend to normalize numbers that way. But I also think I've become the most comfortable with it, so if there's other decks that are kind of cool and emerging and things like that, I will try them out. If there's anything anyone out there wants to see get played or tested or whatever, I'm obviously up for that. I want a Talon Priest just for tempo right now, because we're going to start having some very, very big turns coming up. As much as I would like to hold on to the Talon Priest for a larger Twilight Drake, I don't think it matters as much right now as holding on to the board against Shaman, since we know nothing about them. All they're doing is hero power passing. There is a chance that we're going to get hit with some big 5/5s for free. Maybe this is Evolved Shaman. Maybe this is a token. Yeah, one of those token double Bloodlust Shamans that's looking to blow us out of the water at some point later on. But because they've had a slow start, I think it's the best thing for us to do is to kind of hold on to the board as long as possible. And then there's also the chance that this is just some super controlled Jade Shaman who's going to be looking to be doing silly Spirit Echo things. I know that's one deck that I have been looking at trying, and I actually did start playing it a little bit, but ran into lots and lots of issues with early season aggro, and I thought, you know what, forget that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be struggling here. I do want to hit the rank 15 ASAP, at least that rank floor early on in the season. Maybe play test some more fun decks, and then we'll get back to climbing up to rank 10 basically as quickly as we can, so that hopefully maybe we can get to a nice juicy rank. We can get to a nice juicy rank 5 this season to actually start pushing a little bit more seriously. So obviously there's an issue here. We can just Twilight Drake and trade everything in. We could Power Word Shield, but the chances of finding anything really that great are pretty low. It's not the worst use of our resources, I guess. Thing from Below. The issue is our Twilight Drake does not trade with the Thing from Below if it comes out next turn as well. If there's Hero Power Thing from Below, we're kind of in bad shape. But because this is going to be a 4/8, that's pretty big. Our opponent could then just Hex and Hero Power, and then that kind of sets us up for some pretty strong Draco OP turns. So we do have some options here. I guess trading is okay, just because it does maintain that whole... It is going to maintain some board presence here, and this is going to almost demand a Hex. I mean, it's not something that our opponent really wants to leave and let go. And then there's only 3 dragons left in our deck, because this is a Dragon Priest variant that does have slightly less dragons. I know some people have actually asked in the past, hey, are there actually enough dragons? And yeah, I think because we discover with the historians, kind of keep the train going, and then we have nice value things like, where's my mouse here? Like the Cabal Shadow Priest, one of my favorite cards, and then obviously Glimmer Root's just super, super fun. And as long as I don't confuse Glimmer Root for being Draco OP, we're generally okay with this deck. And then we have our cool anti-aggro things, like Potion of Madness, and then we have Double Priest of the Feast, which is nice to help counter some of those burn mages and things like that, where we can set up turns to kind of work around some of those burn things that we got to be dealing with. We can save a Priest of the Feast and a Shadow or Death to take out an Alex and start healing up, that sort of thing. Well, our Shaman friend here is really thinking through their turns, and that's fine. Oh, that's an interesting choice after all that debate. That would have been probably an instant play from us, but that's okay. Stealing doesn't really do anything, so I'm going to go ahead and Draco OP right now. We'll get to learn a little bit about our opponent. Oh. Lightning Bolt it is. Trade and pass. I really don't mind, just, at this point yeah, I mean, none of these other cards really would have done much for us. Obviously there can be a trade in a Lightning Bolt now that we know that's in our opponent's deck. We also know that it's too bad Draco OP doesn't show us the other choices, but there was an Earth Shock, which is, Twilight Drake killer, but if they don't have it yet, That's good for us. And then we're still looking for another dragon so we can hopefully Draco P next turn. So yeah, I mean, 4 mana from our opponent. They could just Earthshock Hex, and they kind of regain the board that way. But maybe they don't have it. Maybe we'll be okay here. Maybe we're just looking to climb a little bit faster here, to be honest. There's that Hex. Hex trade. That's reasonable. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that. I am tempted to Power Word Shield here. But I think I want to kind of spread out the buffs a little bit. And then I will hang on to this Power Word Shield right now. I don't think it's going to do too much for us, really, to get it down here. I mean, a Volcano is still going to clear the board, so I don't really want to play into that if we can avoid it. We are going to have to get hit with a Volcano eventually. What is this, 12, 13, 14? I mean, it would have been 15, 16. It would have been a 1 in, 2 in 3 chance to have one of our minions survive. But really, I don't think that's really worth it right now. Rather use Power Word Shield to either combo with our priests or with Lyra or Lyra, depending how you pronounce her name. Where is she? My favorite legendary. Yep, that's an Unbound Elemental, that's for sure. We knew that was coming, so maybe our shaman friend here is playing. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Can we get something? We can get something. We have to death this. Do we want to play anything else, though? Do we want a Lightning Bolt this turn, actually? Like, we can go with the Cabal, really, and just heal it back up, right? Keep the Twilight Drake alive. Let's use the Power Word Shield here. That's okay. A little unfortunate the way things have worked out here, especially I think if we get hit with a Volcano now, that's kind of bad for us, just because we've kind of run out of steam in terms of things that we want to be playing. And the fact that we've run out of steam for our Lyra, which is unfortunate. We did have to use that Power Word Shield and then a Lightning Bolt, which would have been great to combo. But, I mean, we still have 2 Draco Ps and a Primordial Drake, so there's 3 great top decks for us. Earth Elemental. This is 3+5, so that's pretty good. Do we want to push a little with the Radiant Elemental? It's scary to do it. This is now 5 + 3 is 13. So the question is, I mean, we're going to go Death here. And then we'll heal this up. Only 1. Oops. How high is the health here? I've lost track of the health, but that's okay. We're still over 15 right now, right? That's 9 + 7. Yeah, we could potentially have a couple things live against Volcano right now, so that's kind of cool. And we're definitely still waiting for a dragon here to activate our Draco P. Fire Ellie. Obviously not good for us, but again, we'll survive. Shadow Visions. What could we even Shadow Visions right now? We could Shadow Visions a shield. Yes, blessed be the funnel cakes indeed. We'll take a shield for sure. And I think we'll keep both of our things alive. As much as, yes, that means maybe we're just going to be... There we go. And we're going to heal up the 4-2 as opposed to 3-2. And that's okay. I mean, the thing is now, yeah, we can get hit with lots of different AoEs that are going to really, really cause us problems. Not only just Volcano, obviously, but now that we have the Draco Ps being activated once again, I'm a lot less worried. And we still always have Dragonfire Potion to kind of fall back on if we ever need it. Maybe it would have been better to have Dragonfired the Earth Elemental, because then we would have had the Shadow or Death for that Fire Elemental. It would have been a little bit more clean, but that's okay. Kind of got that little bit of extra draw with the Shadow Visions into the Shadow Power Word Shield, which is kind of nice. To have that flexibility with the Shadow Visions. We're not always going to Shadow Visions a pack from Elise, so it's good to know we do have that flexibility. Maybe our opponent's just fishing for a little bit of spell power here, and if they are, well, that's fine. Spell power is not always going to show up when they need it if they're hoping to high roll some lightning storms and things like that. Maybe they're still looking to do some lightning storms. Never mind. Oh, little Jinyu action. That's cool. Unbound Elemental. Yeah, that's a card that just basically hasn't seen too much play. Ooh, speaking of Elise. So now we have definite issues with how we want to be trading. Our only Potion of Madness does nothing for us. Or at least does, you know, it throws the pack in, which, you know, which will basically blow our opponent out. But let's start with the Drac. OP. If we could get Maelstrom and Blood Mage, that'd be great. Does Maelstrom Portal actually help us? There's no 1 hit point break points. How do we do this? I don't even know what the best choice is then. Yeah, and Dragonfire wouldn't have saved us this turn either because of the 6 health. This is so strange. Maybe I just take the Blood Mage for the draw. No, let's take Thing from Below to play later. How do we do this now? How do we do this now? We can go 3, 3, 4 to trade. No, it's okay. We finally lose. We finally give our opponent a minion on board for them to play with. And we have a pretty strong board, and we're resilient to Volcano, which is great. And basically all the other AoE as well, unless our opponent's going to double up and play 2 Lightning Storms plus a Maelstrom Portal. And then Thing from Below, obviously 6 mana 5/5 is horrible, but I figure at this point, let's just have some more big minions. Our opponent will run out of resources eventually to deal with our larger sized board. So that's kind of the idea here. And again, if it's a flood, we Dragonfire Potion and we kind of blow them out of the water that way. Because we do have 2 dragons. Although I'm expecting dragons to get traded off. Like a trade here into Maelstrom. Okay. Now we're getting hit with Lightning Storms, perhaps? I mean, if it wasn't for the Earth Elemental, I'd almost think this was a pseudo free-to-play, you know, challenge with a Shaman. Oh, that could be really good for our opponent if they do have Lightning Storms in their hand right now. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Oh wow. 2 mana. No charges, please. Into a Lightning Bolt as well. Wow. I mean, this is a big hand, but it's really not something that's too scary. Oh yeah. Hello. Although there is a debate to be made that we just Potion of Madness here, right? Like maybe Potion of Madness is just better than the Cabal and we steal something else. Because this now actually kills off our opponent's board. Not that I think either way, basically, it sets us up really good. But this way it clears our opponent's board, whereas the Cabal Shadow Priest then leaves minions on our opponent's board for them to actually work with. And now we can kind of keep the Cabal for something else that we might want to take. Although a 2/2 plus 2 spell power is also very good, obviously. This again, you know, we took the biggest minion. We just get the free trade here. Lightning Bolt, we get no free trade here. That's kind of awesome. This has been an interesting game for me. I think this has been interesting. I'm really tempted to just Dragonfire. We'll Dragonfire, then play our Priest of the Feast. I mean, this is low rank, early season stuff. Maybe this isn't even the most interesting. But that's totally okay. More spell powers, eh? This has been an interesting deck. You know what? This is just kind of interesting to see how, like, I feel like I have this super refined... I know it's not. But I feel like I have this refined deck.
Let me change your mind.
That's supposed to be doing such good things. And then we run into someone who's playing a very basic, rudimentary, low-cost, almost free-to-play Shaman. And they're basically... I mean, we have run them out of resources. I can't imagine anything that our opponent plays. Unless they have another Earth Elemental. Otherwise, like, I can't imagine our opponent really running us out of this game right now. And again, we're protected from Volcano. There's not much that our opponent can really be doing here. Stormcrack on the big guy, that's fine. This just forces a couple trades. There's nothing crazy going on here. Well, now we can go and Lyra, at least for the sake of this video. Oh no. Oh no, these are not good. That's okay. We can do more Lyra things here. There we go. And we continue to Lyra things. No, I do want this dead, and then we'll go this way. There we go. That's a pretty good Lyra turn. That at least was worth the video. No, that was pretty good though. So our opponent just has the top decking now. This game is basically, we run them out of resources pretty effectively. Oh my. But that's okay. We do have our Holy Fire. So this is, again, this will be fine. Holy Fire that down. Give me another awesome spell. Oh, that's pretty good. We're obviously running in... Oh, that kind of stinks though that we have to do it that way. Let's see what we can get from our opponent then. Earth Shock is great. Lyra's just ridiculous, honestly. If you have a Lyra up for 2 turns, yeah, that's basically how the game should end. Ridiculous, this Lyra. Against any deck. I'm happy with throwing out the Draco P right now. Firelands is pretty good, and definitely the one we're going to be taking. We might honestly get hit with our opponent's Firelands. A nice golden, although I guess it's golden because our Draco P is golden, actually. So this past season, I think it's funny how Priest has become my go-to. For a couple seasons there, I really felt like Shaman was the deck that was carrying me. But there's just something about this sort of Priest deck, this sort of Priest deck that's really gotten me a little bit comfortable with the way the removals work. Things like Potion of Madness trades. Obviously, there's always room for Lyra shenanigans or Lyra. I think people do refer to her as Lyra, and I apologize, I do tend to mispronounce names, especially gaming ones, and this card doesn't come from WoW, so I think I get a bit of a free pass. Although I'm sure that somewhere in the A Journey to Ungoro lore that this card was explained and how it's pronounced properly, but oh well. I'll try and say Lyra, even though in my mind it's always going to be Lyra, to be honest with you. And our opponent's taking a little bit of time here, and to be honest with you, that's fine. I feel like we're in a very, very good spot. I guess our opponent can trade if they get another spell, but that's still a lot of resources going into this one card. And then hopefully we can just find another one right away and slam it right back down with our Nether Spite. And if not, then we hopefully just take a huge dragon and win that way. Babbling Book, and no attacks from our opponent. I kind of feel bad now. Maybe this video doesn't even... We're going to need something pretty awesome to happen, I think, at this point. Otherwise, Nozdormu is actually pretty awesome, so I'm willing to... Yeah. Maybe if the Noz shenanigans show up, then we'll be allowed to be going with this video. Although our opponent still does have a lot of resources, so you know what? Day 1 of a new season, sometimes you get thrown into the low ranks and you find people who are playing new decks and things like that. And the cards they've played, I mean, that is definitely the shell of the really powerful, ultra competitive burn secret mage. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, really. If someone is just going to go ahead and try and learn a deck. That being said, they should have attacked last turn. Maybe they just panicked the way I panic. I think we know I panic sometimes. Sometimes. So this is obviously easy for us to counter with the Northshire. I'm not sure which trade I would have done, if I would have gone value like that or not. We're definitely testing for Mirror Entity this way. Yeah, that's fine. How do we want to do this? I think we just go this way. I honestly want a Firelands face just to start going a little bit. But I still don't think we should be silly about this. We can go Glimmerroot, actually. We can go Glimmerroot. This is fine. And now we'll see what else is in our opponent's deck if we haven't seen something else. We know it's Medivh's Valet. Unfortunately for us, because the other cards, actually, I would have preferred a Polymorph, that's for sure. So we got a bunch of cards generated now, and that's good. Obviously, Secret Agent here is the best one, but for the generation, because you get to choose. Opponent keeps drawing, though. They still have lots and lots of resources. Oh, boy. This could be something scary. There are discounted cards, right? There are Primordial Glyph cards in our opponent's hand. Okay. Okay.
I'm late.
All right. There we go. Now this is like a game now, right? This is totally like a game. I mean, I still feel like we're going to have very, systematic way of clearing off the board here, but... Oh, Frostbolt. This makes things a little bit more challenging now, that's for sure.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
So our opponent's kind of gone all in here with their play. Whoa, what are you pointing at this one for? What are you pointing anywhere? Deal 2 damage? Okay. Hey, you know what? This is definitely a game right now. This is super active right now, but I don't think that's what we're going to do. I think we need to take out the 5/5 and then just trade. So we're going to test for Counterspell. Oh, Dragonfire kind of just wipes the board, right? Is Dragonfire what we want to do, or do we want to go Firelands? You know what? I think Dragonfire basically just ends it. So let's just go with that. Our opponent has no resources now. They have a 1/2 in their hand and whenever they're top decking. So I feel very confident. That's okay. We can go Firelands for Firelands. Oh, we can't. That's a scary one. But I still think this game is basically done. Yeah, well, you know, that's a pretty good card.
This jungle hides many secrets.
I guess I should have tested the other way, but maybe I don't want to give our opponent the healing. Hey, you know what? We've kind of made this a game now. When we shouldn't have, but that's okay. And that's just going to be a lot of healing for us, so I'm not really worried about, you know, this is going to be 11 to face. Maybe it's a fireball or something. That's terrifying. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is just a really easy... This is a really easy now kill. Let's do it a more fun way.
Let me change your mind.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe... yeah, I don't know. Is this... I feel like the animations have become a little bit more smooth for Hearthstone right now, which is kind of cool. But... yeah, at this point, I mean, I don't feel bad, obviously. You know, running over someone like this. The way that I got run over a few times already today. But...
What to do?
I don't know what you should be doing, Jaina. Yeah, ping down that little one, too. Okay, we're just going to throw down Nozdormu, basically to speed things up. Have a little bit of speed Hearthstone here. Oh, I should have attacked first to make this a little bit more timely on our opponent here. Wait, that was why is the rope not going for our opponent? Come on, speed Hearthstone time. Hope our friend knows what Noz is up to. Babbling Book could be scary. Probably not. Volcanic Potion, definitely still not scary. Wanting to ping down Noz, not happening, friend. We're gonna be healing. Oh, yeah, that's okay. We'll heal this way because I want that one alive the most. We're gonna throw down Lyra and the Valet. Yeah, Nozdormu. Putting pressure on your opponent's always fun like this. Getting back to rank 18 is also gonna be fun, to be honest. Kabalak, yeah, even with Ice Block, it's not gonna save you, friend. Hey, lots of free things. This is okay. I just run in this way. I'm not really bothered. Attack. Let's get random spells. Oh wait, I need to go. Oh, sweet lethal. Sweet Lyra lethal with the Nozdormu. You know what? I'm going to edit out the whole beginning of that game because it was kind of slow and boring. But you're going to see at least the Noz part. That was kind of fun just because it's interesting to see him on the ladder and see him at all. Okay, so we have someone telling us that they're in charge. Oh boy. So we found ourselves a little pirate warrior, probably to finish off this video. It looks like we're about to get... oh, Potion of Madness is super strong though. And our opponent coined on their first turn to get rid of our Northshire Cleric. The issue is if we Radiant Elemental, we could actually be in trouble though. But if we don't, we're also going to be in trouble. So this is going to basically force all of these, our opponent's visible board to trade into our Radiant Elemental, which will then allow us to Cabal Talon Priest next turn onto a almost empty board. I don't know what else Pirate Warrior plays onto. Generally more small things, which is very, very good for us right now. Okay, and Cabal Shadow Priest. If we make it that far, then we'll have a game. So far, I mean, I think we're sitting okay. This is obviously the most scary thing. No attack in. Okay, Shadow Word Pain lets us win. Ridiculous. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta have that early season luck, right? We hope it doesn't run out. That was honestly ridiculous. Shoe on head? Where's the shoe on head? I think I need to have a shoe on head graphic come up sometimes when I do things like that. I don't know how it'll help or prove anything, but you know. Haha! Trading into my Cabal now. For sure. And that's totally fine. I will play the Draco P for tempo here. Obviously, like, we can't just pass on turn 5 against Pirate Warrior. That's just an instant loss. Shadow Visions is nice, but we need to have, like, having a 5/6 out, we'll trade with effectively every minion that Pirate Warrior could play. Maybe they'll trade a Leroy in. You know what I mean? That's the only way this gets cleared. Or the only way that I can foresee this getting cleared. Lyra will be next turn. Do we play this for tempo, actually, or no?
I can't do that.
I could honestly play Lyra now. This is happening every time. I think I will play the Lyra just because our opponent knows if they don't remove her, they're done for. And maybe I could have left it, you know, to combo with some of these other spells, but I think this is going to make things scary enough. Ironbeak Owl. Wow. Do we remember that card? That card used to be a card in Hearthstone. That's so amazing. Destroying pirates. Oh, that's so cool. Do we want to be doing things? We have so many great options here, honestly. Like, this is just illuminating. All right, everyone. Is that going to be it for this video? Yeah, I think so. Just a couple quick highlights from some early season shenanigans that we're having, trying to climb back up to rank 15 and rank 10 plateaus. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Keep your stick on the ice.